So we are nearly 1 week away until the official launch of Valguero Ascended on ARK Survival Ascended. It is only 8 days away until September 30th, and in today's video, we're going to be going through all of the launch details that you need to know, all of the information from the devs, and of course, it's always interesting to read your comments on your predictions of when the map's actually going to launch and what you think about these amazing creatures. Now, if you do enjoy today's video, as always, drop a like and subscribe, guys, because it seriously supports me. The next 8 days is going to be crazy hype, so I hope you're going to be joining us on the ride along from that. And of course, come and join us in the LoadedCrysis cluster, as 100 player servers PvP and PvE is opening on launch day. As soon as the DLC goes live, we'll be getting those servers live for you. So the link to our Discord is down below, and let's get in with the video. So we're going to go through all the information we've got from the devs so far, and then we're going to be reading about some bits, maybe if you're new to Valguero, or if you're returning and you may have forgot a few bits. So in case you missed last week's information from Jeremy, you guys know Jeremy never ever says anything in the ARK community. He's the CEO, and then as soon as the launch comes up close, Jeremy comes in and drops some big news. So he made the statement. And by the way, Jeremy said a lot of things in the past. Much love to you, Jeremy. You know I love you, but it's not always happened. But he says, in case you're wondering, yes, Valguero and the Elder Claw are very much on schedule to release on, he said June 30th. He meant to say September 30th on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And this is where he announced that there is a new Valguero boss on its way. He then goes down below to say, lol, September 30th. I have meant, of course. That's what I get for posting at midnight right after doing some Valguero tweaks. So, one thing, as I mentioned, there's many things that can go wrong on a launch day, right? And no matter how much Wildcard do say, Jeremy's even used the words very on schedule. I heard information that the patch is looking like really good to go. But I know Wildcard do work all the way up to like the final days when they submit it. And everyone's always been quite confused why they do it that way. But anything could go wrong on launch day. You know, there could be something that goes wrong with the submitting on Xbox and PlayStation. But who knows? Could this be the very first ARK DLC that launches on time? I'm not going to give you guys hope. Now, we actually got lots of information over time from Deinonychus, who was one of the old school developers on the modded version of Valguero back on ARK Survival Evolved. And he said a little while back saying, I'm starting to get crazy excited for this. Wasn't a big fan of Val in ASE since it was the first map I was working on, but damn, I am proud about how the ASA version turns out. And a lot of the devs have been saying this. You know, they've been saying that they've really sort of proud and excited for the new changes coming to Valguero. And that's going to make me question a lot of the old stuff that we're going to go through later on. Like, what's going to change? What's going to be so exciting about this? And I look forward to hearing more about it. And Deinonychus obviously was just backing up the claim here, saying to Jeremy, are you sure it's coming out on June 30th? Jeremy means September 30th, of course. And then also Deinonychus said just recently, remember old Valguero, soon you will see how it looks remade. And I think that's what everyone is really looking forward to, you know, just like, especially I feel more excited now with the future launches of ASA. Now it's in 5.5, Unreal Engine 5.5, because Ragnarok for me was so good. It looked amazing. It still had its issues, but it was the best DLC launch I've actually witnessed, I would say, ever. And I know people said to me, Dom, you know, I don't agree with that. But I think the majority will agree with me that even though there were the consistent ARK issues on launch, you know, to do with your maybe transfers or things like that. I mean, well, transfers aren't open straight away, but you know, those kind of like loading in error issues, that kind of stuff is always a thing in ARK. But I was talking about mainly actually how the map plays. I know Xbox players are experiencing some issues at the moment, and I am working around to make a video on that. But I'm more excited for DLC launches now that they're not just in the old engine of the game and they're in the updated 5.5 version. So Valguero is very, very close, and you know, we always get to come over here and have a little look, and I just basically wanted to show you guys all of the old regions because we haven't done that yet. And there's the Boreal Forest, the jungle, the redwoods, the snow mountains, the tundra, the white cliffs, and some other areas that will show. So this is Beaver Lake, and it will show you what creatures spawn here. So like, as expected, beavers. And this is what it looked like on ASE. I can't wait to do my comparison video when I actually take a look at all of these, like, what other photos? Oh, it was just that, you know, but how it looked from the old game onto the new version, you know, from Unreal Engine 4 over to 5.5. So that was Beaver Lake, and then this is the actual Boreal Forest, as you guys can see here. When we go backwards, if we go over here, we can see the Skeleton Gorge over here. If we go back here, actually we could just open up new tabs. Why not do that instead of having to constantly go back? This is the dam in Boreal Forest, so we'll be nice to see what that looks like. What else we got? The farm. We'll have a look at the farm. This is what that area was as part of Valguero. By the way, there's so much. It does show you how loads of, since the old game, the quality of detail has just gone up so much. I mean, this is meant to be the outpost, and I wonder what they're going to do with the outpost. And then we have the valley, which is always has interesting creature spawns here, as you can see. Lots of space, perfect for very common Gallimimus, as you can see. Uncommon for the Rexes to spawn there. And finally, in the Boreal Forest, we have Weathertop, which you can see here, and I'm sure very Skyrim vibe. For some reason, this is deciding not to load. Why is that not loading? What is going on with this? Why is that not loading? But Weathertop, Skyrim vibes, come up to the top. You got RGs and Sabertooth spawn in there. For some reason, it refuses to load in. I thought it would have been better because it was the new, oh, there we go. It's actually worked this time, and this is Weathertop. And let's move into the next areas. So now we have the jungle. So we have Green Canyon, and I've accidentally clicked on that there. Do you know what? To make things easier, we're just going to open up. Every time it's like, you know, we're like thinking, right, let's just go for it. Let's just get them all opened up so we can go through them. I don't want to waste your time, but this is the Green Canyon in Valguero. Over here we have the Hidden Lake. Over here we have the jungle, which is, you can see this getting a massive, massive revamp. We have the Jungle Cliff Ridge. We have the Lost Temple of Valguero, and we have the Urwald Swamp, which is your classic swamp that you always get in ARK. We'll then move on to the redwoods, so let's get rid of all of these here, and let's open up. So we've got High Mountain, the Dam, the Falls, the Island, the Lair, which is a scary one, because if you guys didn't know, the Brood Mother roams on Valguero. The question is, will it still? I'm sure it will. So this is High Mountain as part of Valguero, and this website is absolutely annoying me. There we go. We have the Dam here in the Redwoods. We have the Falls in the Redwoods, which I could see this looking very nice. We have the Island of the Redwoods. We have the Lair, which, that's a Brood Mother, by the way. That's what we were literally talking about, a roaming Brood Mother. We have the Moor. We have the Redwoods, just standard Redwoods. We have the Stronghold in the Redwoods here, and then we have the Twin Peaks, which, of course, it's just gonna be doing this, isn't it? Why does this happen on the new wiki? It's so strange. There we go, Twin Peaks. Right, so coming over to the Snow Mountains, as you can see, we have Fells Block Pass. We have Fells Block Plateau, which looks really cool. You're going to find your Utis over there. We have Glacier Narrows. We have the Glacier Thruway over here. We have the Grand Glacier. As you can see, get some drops in there. We have the Ice Wall Plateau. Maybe if you want your Game of Thrones vibes. We have the Schwarzwald, which I'm interested to know where they're getting these names from. I guess maybe it's inspiration from the creators themselves, with, like, you know how Nakatus goes for his name creations. We have the Snow Desert, which, there we go, it's loaded in. We have the just standard Snow Mountains, and then we'll come back to that one. We'll get the Great Trench opened up, where, as you will see, wyverns will be flying. Lots of ice wyverns. Get yourself ready for that. Now, we've got a final 3 to look at. We have the Tundra, we have the White Cliffs, and we have the other special places that you can visit, which we'll explain later on. So this one is Beaver Moor in Valguero. We have Bergfestung in Valguero at the top of the mountain. Now, I can't wait to see what Nakatis has done to these places. I feel like he's going to go crazy. We have Claw Valley. We have the Tundra. Look at that. Very nice. And then the Tundra Crossing, which I'm sure many of you guys will witness, but a lot of stuff is going to look updated. Now, the one, the only, the White Cliffs, one of the most beautiful places in all of Valguero, which is going to look just so special in the new version. It really is. I mean, the detail that went into the White Cliffs was unbelievable. This was Forgotten City. This is the mall, the Darth Mall. It looks very cool. This is the Paradise in Valguero. This is the Pillar, where you'll find fairly friendly spawns, but depends where you venture to. You have the Sky Guard, which is just above the White Cliffs, which if you do decide, if you're sitting at the top of the Sky Guards and you do decide to venture off the end, this is where you're going to bump into some Deinonychuses and get ready, because they will pounce. And once tamed, they're great, but they will pounce. And then we have some very, very interesting different places within Valguero. One I know off by heart is the massive underground ocean that you can't actually get to the top of. It's an underground ocean full of typical deep sea creatures found on other ARK maps. The only reason why this has become a thing is because there's only like a middle parting of water on Valguero. So the abyss is where you'll go to deep sea creatures, and you'll have to find your way out there. It's a very, very freaky underwater place. This is the Forsaken Oasis over here. As you can see, there's a dragon and the manticore above there, which is you can see the location here. The arena, you'll be able to find it. During the day, it could be both hot and cold, so it may be important to bring food and water. Then you have the Emerald Forest here, which is very cool. It's a cave. I'm guessing this is the Aberration Cave. There's a certain Aberration place where you can actually, a large underground forest that resembles Aberration. And then we have the lake, which is right in the middle of Valguero. Lots to explore, where you're mainly going to get your water source. Very, very Hunger Games if you play PvE, because you're going to be running to the middle and all trying to make the most of that. And then here we have the Aberration themed location again, which is arriving to the unknown. This is the first look, well, that we got back in 2019 of the unknown, and it's going to be, a player with a mount will receive the effects of radiation sickness. So a full radiation suit is highly advised. So good luck, because it's very aberrant in the world of Valguero, and they may even add more different types of the zones. This is what we don't know right now. Like, things are really subject to change. So, ARK players, are you ready to venture into Valguero in 8 days' time? From the crazy Megaraptor over to the very nice reveal of the Deinonychus, which we're using for today's thumbnail because I thought it looked amazing when they first made it. And what we're most likely going to get next week, which is, well, this week on Friday, the first look at the proper look at the Elder Claw. Expect that to come on Friday the 26th. So I look forward to showing you guys that off in Friday night's crunch. Be prepared for that video. It's going to be a lot of fun to finally see the last look at the one of the concepts that we haven't seen yet. It's going to be great. Catch you guys in my next one, and I'll see you in tomorrow's videos.